good, y'all, and welcome to my review for this week's episode of the Bleach of the 1,000-Year Blood War anime. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally back with Bleach, and the anime has returned. And yeah, moving dates as well. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my reaction. I was kind of surprised that they moved the dates from from Monday to Saturday, because usually doesn't happen with anime. Usually when they have their date, they stick with that date. They don't usually change it, but they did here, man. But yeah, so yeah, the episode itself, man. Amazing, spectacular, godly, another banger episode from Arion, man. And listen. This is something I was gonna say real quick. Like, we know that, I know and we all saw that people gave for, the past couple of years before the Blood War anime started, people have been giving Arion a lot of shit, from those, them clowning on board, and it's very inconsistent animation, Black Clover's very horrendous production schedule, how they handle TG and all that, but bro, with Perion's treatment of Bleach with the Blood War and the area animation quality and everything, bro, I think it's about time we start putting some respect on their name again, bro, because my god, bro, they went off this fucking episode, the opening of the episode, the actual opening minutes of the episode, as well as the OP itself. The OP looked incredible as well in its own right, man. But oh man, that opening of the episode, man, just looked absolutely spectacular, man. And yeah, without further ado, guys, let's just jump right into the actual episode. So we start the episode off with basically the birth of Yuha, it seems like, man, where we actually start off with the sperm cells coming together to, fertilize the egg and all that. And I also, and this is I mentioned this, I know I mentioned this earlier about, Period blowing off in the opening of the episode, but it bears to be bro, this opening of the episode looks absolutely spectacular, man. I love the animation style that they went with. I don't know if this is all CGI or this was some other just different art style. I don't know how they made this, man, but it looks amazing. I love the look of this. They go in there as we see Yuha slowly turn into a baby, we get birth, and then we see all of these hands raising up, and then we see these red threads coming off of them connecting to Yuha as the camera pans upward back up to Yuha as everyone chants Yuha, Yuha, Yuha as we see him grow up into the current Yuha. And oh my god, bro, it just looks amazing, bro. I don't know how they made this, bro, but Jesus Christ, that looks incredible. Now let's talk about the OP real quick. The OP looks absolutely amazing. First of all, I love the overall just look and feel of this OP. It felt very 2000s. It reminded me a lot of the first Bleach OP, as well as some of the EDs we would get for Bleach, where we actually see them in the in street closing. Which this I will definitely say this is probably a top 5 Bleach OP for me, man. Now I still haven't finished up the main series. I'm up to episode 200, up to I think I'm at 202, 203, yeah, 202. I looked at my mouth real quick. Episodes of Bleach now. Yes, I still have over 100 episodes to watch, but hey, compared to where I started at the start of the first core, I'd say I've made a lot of progress, man. But yeah, man, this OP looks amazing, bro. First of all, this OP once again confirms that reaffirms rather, that Kubo is the fashion god of manga. I know a lot of people bring up Araki and that he is the fashion god of manga, and you can definitely make that argument with, of course, all the Gucci collabs he's had and everything, man. But JoJo's fashion is more of that high fashion shit that, let's be real, most normal people wouldn't even wear anyway or wouldn't even look good in it. But Bleach, they Kubo dresses his character the way people would actually dress, normal sleek clothing you could actually wear and you could actually kind of pull off, man. So that's why I think I would call Kubo the fashion god model more than Araki. But you could definitely make an argument for either on that. Either way, they both got drip, man. I love Ichigo's hoodie you got in there. Uryu's suit looks amazing as well. We got people doing rap battles and shit from some of the Stern writers, man. Ruki looks amazing as well. I love what they have for some of the other soldiers you got in there. Toshio looks great. Kenpachi rocking this leather jacket looks clean as hell, man. And just looks amazing. Yuha looks great as well, man, as he's coming up in his helicopter, man. Now, one thing that I thought was interesting, this is just me kind of guessing. Look at the OP kind of gets what we might see in the second core. First of all, we see Yoruichi's in there, which hopefully she's still going to be voiced by Wendon Lee. With all the recasts we would have with the Blood War dub from the first core, man, it's up in the air. It's a roll of the dice whether or not she'll come back as Yoruichi. Now, apparently she did return in the first. She was in the first core as well, voiced some other random characters. So it looks like there's a good chance we probably will see her return as Yoruichi. We'll have to wait and see on that. Hopefully, I don't want anyone else to play her, man. I want Wendon Lee back, but we'll have to wait and see on that. that. But interesting thing where we see Asnod, he's like skateboarding, he's like doing like he's like skateboarding, going off some ramps. But when he comes back down, Rukia hits him with a fire extinguisher, and we see some of like the like smoke or whatever the fuck's in a fire extinguisher on her face. Could this mean that we're gonna see her Bankai in this core? Possibly. That would be sick as hell if we actually got to see Rukia's Bankai in this and in sometime in the second core, man. That would be awesome. Well, you know, I don't know for sure if we will, because, you know, like I said, I'm an anime only, but hopefully we're gonna see her. If we see her Bankai in this episode, bro, ooh, or in this core rather, that's gonna be amazing. And then we have to end the OP off with Uryu grabbing a violin while Ichigo grabs like a double guitar as it transitions to their actual weapons as they face off one-on-one, which, oh my god, bro. I don't know where the fight between Ichigo and Uryu is going to be in this core. I don't know if that's going to be around the midpoint of this core, or that's going to be like around the end of the core. Like I said, I'm an anime-only man, and only know like a handful of little details of the Blood War just from watching James's videos for so long. But like, that fight is going to be based, like, especially when we get to the dubcast, bro. Oh my god, JYB, bro. Ooh, my man is gonna go off there, man. I cannot wait to hear JYB's take it along with Derek as well, man. Like, I know what, like, I gave the Blood War dub a lot of shit for like all the recasts and everything, man. And some of the recasts just didn't, the voices didn't sound all that good to me. This is when I first heard them, man. But like from the OG cast members, when they were on screen, bro, it was just perfection, bro. I'm just kind of glad none of my favorite characters got recast, so I'm glad for that at least. But anyway, enough me gushing with the OP. Let's continue on with the actual episode. So we pick up basically right where we left off. I was about to say last one, but last year is more fitting. Of the Blood War with Ichigo, still in the royal palace. He is going up these steps with Toyo Sube, if I'm pronouncing his name right, going himself and basically tell him what we already know about, you know, that the Soul Reapers took a lot of heavy damage from this. Also, I got some storyboarding in this part of the episode. Looked really nice. I really done the storyboarding for this portion of the episode, and the storyboarding here looked really good. As I was saying, tell him about how the Soul Reapers took heavy losses during the invasion from the Quincy's, and you know, Ichigo tells like, hey bro, it's not like y'all were doing anything, y'all were basically sitting on your asses just watching. And then he tells him, and then he of course retorts that, you know, it's part of our job just to watch as well as to train. Ichigo tells him the Quincy's will be returning, and Ichigo says, yeah, I know, bows, and then takes his leave. And then Hoyosube's like, hey yo bro, where the fuck you going, bro? Your training ain't done. Are you that eager to die? So before that's when we head back over to the Quincy's in Silburn, if I pronounce that right, their headquarters, if I'm pronouncing that right, where Yuha comes out and also, bro, Suguchi, bro. Oh my god, Suguchi, bro. Like, I've gushed about the music before in the first core of the Blood War, and obviously from watching them going through the original series as well. The music there is incredible as well. But bro, this man is fucking cooking, bro. He is on fire, bro. Like whenever it's revealed on, whenever he does tracks for the Quincy, and I don't know why he's like this with the villain tracks and not the Soul Reapers, bro. But he always goes fucking off for like every other attack, like Grimjow's theme, you know, just the Arankars and the Espadas theme, bro. And then of course you got the Quincy's as well, bro. This man goes off for everybody but the Soul Reapers, bro. I don't know why he's like that, bro, but oh my god, the track I was playing here, man, was amazing. So Yuha comes in there, says that they have lost many comrades and are varying distances in Threaten, and that we survived here by staying here for thousands of years, blah 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 blah. He continues on and announces that he comes in and brings in Uryu, showing him off, and you know, he is part of the Quincy's, joined them, man. And then of course he reveals that he hereby names Uryu as his successor and not Hashwell. Not Hashwell. Hashwell is not his successor, it's actually Uryu. Which definitely was surprising. Of course, all the Stern writers, like Bambiette and some of the other ones, were all flabbergasted by this news, shocked and confused on how this even happened, as, you know, just got Hashwell just sitting there, man. And he tells them that you will all soon learn his powers firsthand on the battlefield. And then, Bambiette, you know, she's pissed off at this news, man. She needs to let off a little steam. So she goes back there, grabs some random schmuck, you know, some random, like, schmuck from the crowd, and be like, hey, you, come, I'm pissed off, come in my room. It's like, yes, it's my honor. And then this woman straight up splits him in half, bro. So literally splits him in half, and he falls down there. Blood is everywhere, bro. And then we get to see the goods, bro. Hey, yo, dog, listen. Y'all know me. I'm an Orihime guy. I love Orihime. She best girl. But bro, Bambi F on as hell. And I'm pretty sure this is like the sex scene that James was talking about that he was worried that might got cut because a lot of fans were getting cut from the Blood War, and it was happening that this one guy that was stuck in there got stayed in there from when these episodes premiered on like Japanese theaters back in Japan a while ago. I'm assuming this is the scene he's talking about, bro, but yeah. Ooh. Lord have mercy, bro. Bambi, bro. She's fine. Anyway. Continue on. Well, before I get too distracted by Bambi. And she's voiced by no bar in the dub, so that's a double dub for me, man. anyway, the rest of the female Sternriders come in there and basically, you know, hey, bro, why are you doing this? You know, you can't keep like killing off all the hot guys whenever you get pissed off. And then mentions about how Baz B is also causing commotion over all this. And before we cut over to him, like punching a wall. And like I mentioned before, Banzi's confused by asking what the hell is this? Why is it him? You know, this, that, and third. As you know, we have other Sternriders bickering with one another, man. And he just says, fuck this, and starts heading for the door, where he is then met by Hushwald. And he asks him, like, how is Hushwald not annoyed or pissed off at the fact, and that he thought under the impression that he was going to become the successor for Yuha, and if it was him, no one would really have any problems with. And Hushwald tells him that that's his Majesty's war, and that there's no room for me to object to it. Bamzi calls him a coward and then challenges him to a fight for his seat. I don't know, the Quiet Council or something. I don't know where on the seat of, like, I guess where the Sternriders are. Is it like the Espadas with their seats kind of like higher ranks or something? I don't know. Has this ever been explained? I don't know. I might just be misreading. But anyway, he challenges him for his seat at the head of the table. All right, then. Got my tribal chief reference out of the way. Anyway. So then, as Bamzi's charging right towards him, this purple orb appears before him for another one of the Sternriders called Nak. If I'm pronouncing his name right, Nakla Varda. I'm probably mispronouncing it. Who literally looks like Aizen with a lip injection, bro. Like, literally, look at this man and tell me he doesn't look like Aizen if Aizen got lip injections, bro. He looks at him, so he's just like clapping and be like, yes, very calm indeed. And this is something else I really say. I love the sound effect that was playing for like his little like orb thing. I don't know whose idea what that is. Whoever on the sound team that came up with that sound effect, whether it was the bowling team or somebody else, shout out to y'all, man. I love the sound effect that was playing for this thing. It sounded really fucking cool, man. I really dug the sound effect he used. That's when we head back with Uryu and Yuha in his quarters, as Yuha is like pouring his blood into like this little cup for Uryu to drink it to obtain some of Yuha's powers to, of course, become Yuha's successors. And Uryu, right before he drinks it, asks him like, why him? Why is he his successor? And Yuha tells him, like, if you think about it, it's obvious on why I would choose you. And he tells him, why are you still alive? And then we get another amazing, like I mentioned this before, but the storyboard through this entire episode was really fun good. I love this one shot. The cinematography, the lighting, cinematography, just in general here, man, just look breathtaking, man. Where we see Uryu in front of what looks like a graveyard, assumingly in front of his mom's grave, that's basically during golden hour. As the camera pans back and we see other graves and crosses around, I'm assuming these are all meant to be other Quincy's that have all died. Which is probably during the whole event where Yuha gained his own power by killing off a bunch of random Quincy's, or took their powers rather, like with Ichigo's mom, with Misaki. Anyway, so as I mentioned before, the camera pans away there. Like I said, this shot looks absolutely gorgeous, and like we also get like a little bit with like the color fades, and we just see Uryu and the cross right from him, black and white, man. It just looks amazing. The storyboard in this entire episode was really good. Anyway, so he mentions he was the only Quincy to survive the Asawalan. If I pronounce that right, I forget if I pronounce that right or not. And since his mother died, Uryu was wondering what is his purpose, and that the answer was written in his grandfather's diary, and that based on his magnanimous word, he has been able to confirm them all to be true. Like Quincy's and Soul Reapers can never get along, as we see some flashbacks to earlier on in the first core between Ichigo and Uryu. Another amazing shot where we see Uryu kind of like reflected in the cup of blood. Ugh. Looks amazing. The storyboarding was so good this episode, man. And he tells him that he has severed time with everything to be here and to bury the Soul Reapers. And he tells him, and then that's when Uryu takes the drink, Which, by the way, did anyone else was expected for them to do the whole like, you know, like it's like the instantaneous thing when you drink something like this and you like instantly start to transform? Did anyone else expect that to happen, or was that just me? Because I actually thought that they would do the whole like, boom, boom, cook. What is this? What is happening to me? You know, that whole thing. Anyway, he drinks it. Surprisingly, like, throughout this entire part, like, some of the blood is, like, laying on Uryu's lip. Yet he, like, never wipes away. He literally just sits there, man. And then eventually at the end of it, like, his entire bottom lip is just colored red. That's just something I noticed, man. Before we cut back over to Uryu, still trying to do some experiments on, what's his name's, like, device thing that can steal Bankais. I forget that Stern writer's name, lol. Anyway, as we also see, it looks like they're searching, and it looks like Uryu has sent over Orihime and Shat, and what I'm assuming is Grimmjow. I think we can all agree that it's Grimmjow is like the third mystery man in there, that at least that's still hidden in the cloak that we still haven't seen yet. I think we can all agree that's most likely Grimmjow, like, it probably is Grimmjow, but anyway, as it looks like they're searching like these different like ruins they have there throughout the Waco Mundo. I'm assuming to like maybe find some stuff about the Quincy's and all of that to try and figure out to help out the Soul Reapers, as well as also get some training done. And then we get back to Ichigo, where we see his back muscles. Like, literally, bro, if y'all remember. Literally, bro, when the trailer dropped for the second core, the amount of thirst tweets I saw from, like, female Bleach fan artists I follow on Twitter, bro, was insane. Everybody was thirsting about Ichigo's back muscles. It was honestly pretty crazy how many people were simping for his back muscles, bro. Anyway, Oyasube is telling Ichigo that he now needs to extend beyond the sword as he's putting his toes away, and then this wooden sword just magically appears in Ichigo's hand for some reason. It is now time to begin the second part of Ichigo's training as like the walls start to peel off like some Silent Hill type shit, and then we get to this new location that Hoyosube describes as like the sacred plate and that you cannot enter without the permission of the Soul King, and he wants to see if Ichigo is worthy of this as he like walks through it. Also, I really love the lighting and the sound design in this area. This sounded like, I really like how this area looked. Before we head back with Shuhei, as he's worried about what's going to happen with Ichigo and his power, which we'll see later on in the episode. And now we get back with Shinji, where same old, where he is yelling with Hiyori. Now, first and foremost, Bleach Dub Fans, place your bet. Who's getting recast in this group, bro? Because, like I mentioned before, with how many recasts are done, I guarantee you, like, we also see this later on with another group of friends as well, a supporting character you haven't seen in a while in Bleach as well, making her return as well in this episode. Like, with how many recasts there have been, I fully expect everyone here to get recast. But, you know, for everyone who watches this video, for my Bleach Dub fans out there, leave in the comments, place your bets. Who you think of Hiyori and Lisa and like Yoshinji's OG crew do you think is going to get recast? Which, by the way, since the first core has aired or ended, because you guys remember my reviews earlier on, I was kind of wondering, kind of confused, like, oh, who's voicing, Shinji? Is that still Roger Craig Smith? Did he get recast? He did get recast. He's now played by Alex, who's now also playing, I forget the dude's name, but the guy that used to be played by Gaara in the Bleach as well, Junichiro, I think his name was, something along those lines. But yeah, he's also playing him as well. So yeah, Alex, he's getting busy with Bleach, man. He making that paper. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, like I mentioned before, for all my Bleach Dub fans that are leaving the comments, you guys think it's gonna get recast here, because I guarantee you there's gonna be at least one. Listen, if everybody here from Shinji's OG group, if none of them got recast, bro, I would be shocked. Legitimately, I would be shocked. Anyway, so Shinji's basically just asking Hiyori to help him out there, and he says it's like, I'm begging with you with my head down, and then fucking Hiyori is like, nah, bro, I can tell over the phone you're not even bowing your head. I love these two, man. These two are funny. Anyway, so as they continue arguing, Shinji once again asks her to help him out before he hangs up there, and then the big guy, I'm sorry, I forget his name, comes in there bearing a gift from Shinji and Mayuri, and this gets Hiyori to begrudgingly escape to join form the Fixing the Super Pain in the Butt distortion between the world of the living and the Soul Society crew. So, and then we actually see Lisa, and she's like, wait, we have to participate too? And I gotta see, I dig her Fullbringer design, you know, the glasses, the ponytail. I fucks with it. It looks good on her, bro. I like Lisa's new design she got going. So then we head over back to this other area where Rukia and Renji are training, where they just have to stand in place and just stare at each other with their weapons pointing at each other. Now, at first, I was kind of confused, like, why the fuck are they sweating so much and they just have to sit still? But then, as we find out later on the episode from Hirosube, it seems like this area was meant to be like sort of like, you know, those training facilities in Dragon Ball where Goku and Vegeta can like up the gravity to insane amounts to help with their training. I'm assuming it looks like this was kind of a similar situation, because they mentioned that when they first got in there, both Rukia and Renji could barely even move up. And remember, by this point, they've already would have bathed, or at least Renji did, bathe. Yeah, both Rukia and Renji were there as well with Byakuya in the hot springs to recruit to help heal their injuries. So I'm assuming this is meant to be like some gravity type thing, like in Dragon Ball, I assume. Anyway, so, Renji's like, oh, this kind of thing doesn't suit me, being still and point my blade toward an ally, and Rukia, like, he says the exact same thing. I can't wait to hear this with Michelle up, man. Can't wait. So anyway, that's when Hirosube comes in, or rather, before we get there, we find out that Byakuya, he's finally safe, he's good, he is healed up from the hot spring, and yeah, so he's back in business, man. I know I mentioned this in my reviews for the first core, man, but I do wonder what would have happened with Bleach. How would the Blood War be if Kubo stuck to his guns and kept Byakuya dead? I know a part of me was kind of hoping he would do that for the anime adaptation, but that's definitely one of the many what-ifs of Bleach. Like, oh, what if Kubo stuck to his guns and, people weren't sending him death threats about Byakuya's death? That definitely would have been curious how the Blood War anime would have turned, or the Blood War arc, I should say, would have turned out if they went that direction. Anyway, Hirosube comes in there and asks, like, hey, you guys want to train in the back now? So that's when and they both agree. We then head over to Karakura Town, where we once again see Keigo, Tatsuki, and the other guy, I forget his name, once again, place your bets, boys! Who's getting recast? Now granted, Yuri still voices Sasuke, which is also done by Studiopolis, the actual dubbing studio that does make the dub for Bleach as well as Naruto. So there's probably a good chance that Yuri will stay. We might see Yuri, and I hope he does, because hearing Keigo be anything but the comic relief character was very surprising to see in this episode. I don't know if this is something that happens back in during the fake Karakura Town arc or during the Fullbringer. Well, like I said, you guys know I haven't finished all of Bleach, but that was kind of a pleasant surprise to see. So I kind of hope Yuri's still voicing, because I would love to see his take on this scene, how he would do this. So yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping Yuri at least stays around, but I wouldn't be too much. If anyone's gonna get Yuri cast, it's probably gonna be Yuri. But maybe not. Maybe Yuri will stay in there as Keigo for this one episode. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. I like Yuri, man. I want to keep Yuri going. But anyway, so they're just kind of chilling. That's when Shuhei comes in there and basically tells them and prepares them for the wars that Ichigo, with the new location he's at, currently training to ascend beyond a Soul Reaper to defeat Yuha, that he might be too powerful to return to the world of the living. I guess because of his immense spiritual pressure he would have if that were to happen. And like I said, Keigo gets really pissed off, starts screaming at Shuhei, be like, "What do you mean goodbye?" That Ichigo must have gotten mixed up with something again. Bro, seeing Keigo be anything but the comic relief character, actually seeing him get angry rather than him being the butt of jokes, or him just getting beat or annoyed or something, was so shocking to see. And it's going to be even more shocking if Yuri's still voicing him, because I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? So once again, I hope Yuri stays, man. If there's one person that I want to see stay from here, man, it's Yuri. But who knows? For all we know, all three of these guys could get recast. Like I said, if nobody from both of these crews, from both Shinji's original crew as well as these guys, man, if none of them got recast, bro, I would be shocked. I would be legitimately shocked if that were to happen, man. So, anyway, Shuhei explains to him that he's now in this new location, blah, 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 like I mentioned before, and he doesn't know what power he could come back with, depending on what happens after he finishes up this training. So then the other guy asks him, what's the hypothetical, this is a hypothetical, what are the odds? And he mentions that the possibility is 1 in 10,000, so it's very, or even less, so it's not very possible, so it's very low, there's a very low possibility, that this could happen with Ichigo. And he's more or less and Tsubasa kind of asks him, why would you tell us about this if it's so low? And mostly it's just to prepare for the wars, and he feels like that because they're Ichigo's friends, he should tell them to do right by Ichigo. And that's when he hands, and also I gotta say, bro, Keigo, this man had a fucking glow up during the Fullbringer. I mean, my god, bro, his redesign in the new art style Kubo went with for the Fullbringer looks bro, the dude kind of looks like Ichigo now. Bro, Keigo, like I mentioned, he was the comic relief character throughout all of Bleach, and his design and everything. But seeing him now, bro, the man man had a glow, bro. Cubo did good by this guy, bro. He did good by Keiko, bro. I don't know if it's like I don't know if this happened in the Fullbringer arc as well, where we actually got to see Keiko be a little bit more serious rather than just being the comic relief character, and that's also could also play why Kubo changed his design so much, because he kind of looks like Ichigo now, bro. It's also kind of insane. But anyway, we had some of these sold tickets, which I didn't know these were even from Bleach. I thought this was just some bullshit from BBS. So if it does happen, Ichigo can return back to the world living, they can still see him in the Soul Society. So, good on Shuhei for doing that for Ichigo's bros. Before then we head back with Best Girl Orihime. Always good to see her. And Chad asks her like if Orihime is tired, should we call it a day? And Orihime talks about how peaceful it is, as we see. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I love the song they were playing here. Love that song. Anyway, so she kind of continues on to get like a montage of like Nell playing around with the Don T'Chaka and Pesci as they're like all stacked up against each other. Once again, we get another shot of Grimmjow in the shadows, or whoever the shadowy figure is, Ishii and Yuzu and Karin. And then we also see Ruruka coming in to join Urahara in her bunny costume, which of course made James a very happy man. I do wonder if we're going to see that whole Ruruka scene with her in her bunny costume and everything. The next episode, that's going to be later on in the core. I do wonder about that. But anyway, we then end the episode off where we see some kids, chilling around in the Serete, they doing their thing. Before then, the sky turns red and like the buildings start to freeze over. Like, bro, this whole transition into the Serete getting invaded by the Quincy's, once again, the red sky coming, everything, looked to me, I'm pretty sure this was all CGI because, I think they kind of have to, getting these kind of camera angles they were getting at, but it looked amazing, man. And it's also kind of funny because you guys remember when Hero Waka Season 6 was airing, you had Hero Waka fans bitching about the sky being blue. And now with the second core of the Blood War anime, we have Bleach fans bitching about the sky being red. I just find that funny, man. I just find that funny. So yeah, the Quincy's are back. They've invaded the Serete once again for round 2. He asks Yuha asks Uru if he knows the Gaskan, if I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. And he says the thing, the confirmed Quincy King gained his pulse after 900 years, blah, 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 blah. Yuha says that there's more to it, and he says, and the world in 9 days. And we have to also see his like little smirk he does, which I do wonder if this is just reused footage from Core 1, considering how similar it looks. I wouldn't be surprised if they just reuse that footage and just change the lighting around. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that for sure because I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is reused footage from the first Core, just with the colors changed. And then we get a title card, the last 9 days, and that is where the episode ends. We get the ED, which is great, which is a great ED. I think I like Core 1's ED a little bit more, but this ED is great on its own right. So yeah, that is the end of the episodes, ladies and gentlemen. Another fantastic episode, guys. Amazing storyboarding, phenomenal music from Shiguchi. Shiguchi was going off in like the last minute when the Quincy's were showed up, man. Like, ugh. Can't wait for the rest of this core, man. Ichigo versus Uryu. That's probably the most thing I'm most hyped for this core, man. Unless we also see Ruki's Bankai, and that's probably gonna be like second for me. And yeah, man. Anyway, guys, let's end this video off. Overall, my film for this episode is going to be a 9.5 out of 10, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on my socials if you feel like it. Links are below. And as always, come out for more. See you guys next time. You